we're going into a pumpkin rigatoni, and it's gonna be topped with a prosciutto and sage crisp. So let me show you how we start by making the crisp. You just pick your favorite prosciutto, put parchment down or silpat because we're gonna put a little oil on top of it. And the sage and the prosciutto are actually gonna fry in that oil and make a crisp. We're gonna take our sage leaves and just scatter those around. Here's my olive oil. I've got my oven heating at 400, and I'm just gonna give this a little toss with my hands. I'm gonna put it in the oven for 5 minutes until this all crisps up. All right, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with this Kemps cottage cheese. I use it in everything. I eat it for breakfast, I eat it for lunch. All right, so I've got about a half a cup of the 4% full fat cottage cheese in here. And when you're using it in recipes, what I like to do is blend it up. And I'm just gonna make it so that it's creamy. Check and make sure we've got it blended up enough. That is the perfect texture. There is our crispy sage and prosciutto crumble. Ooh, everything looks real crispy. We're gonna go ahead and make our sauce. I've got a couple tablespoons of butter that we're gonna start with, some thyme leaves, 1 whole shallot. I'm also going to add my chili flake. It's gonna be kind of spicy. We're just gonna let the shallot sweat it out a little bit. And I'm using 4 cloves of garlic. And whenever I use garlic, I don't wanna cook it too much, right? Because when it starts to get too brown, it gets bitter. So we're just doing what we did with the shallots, just letting it sweat out a little bit. And we're gonna add 1 cup of pumpkin puree. And remember, we're just gonna cook it a little bit so that we take that flavor and enrich it. The pumpkin's taking on just a tiny bit darker color, which is what we want. So we're gonna put in our cottage cheese. It's gonna be melting into our pumpkin. Look at that cheese melt. All right, we're gonna add a half a cup of whole milk, and then we're just gonna cook this down a little bit until we get to the texture that we like. We've got a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and you wanna use fresh cheese, don't use the stuff in the can. I already cooked up the rigatoni, and get that all stirred up. Ooh, see that cheesy, ooh, that looks so good. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna hit it with some salt, some pepper, and then we're gonna plate it up and add our crumble. You'll be able to serve it just like this. Did you hear that crumble? And it is time for that first bite. You guys, this is so delicious. Savory with the pumpkin, the garlic, and then you have the salt of the prosciutto. Really delicious.